Hello. I guess I changed my mind again about that paint job. So I buffed it down with that scratch pad and masked it up again. And yesterday was rainy and wind, uh, quite like 100% humidity, so I didn't paint. Anyway, this morning around 7 o'clock in the morning, I everything was calm, so I start spraying. So we got I had to put 4 coats on it because the my third coat I had a lot of dry spots. So I mixed up a little more paint and proceeded in spraying, and I ran out of paint right there. I did everything but that quarter panel. Ran out of paint. I just got up there a little ways. So I mixed up a little more paint, and of course the where I couldn't exactly remember where I stopped and I couldn't see good, I overlapped it and I got a couple runs, which I can sand out. But I don't have it. There's not too many dry spots. There is a couple spots that I'll have to lightly sand and buff. Um, I still have 2 liters left, which is enough to do actually the rest of the car. But for a closure on the side, I didn't like. I liked and then didn't like back and forth. But anyway, I decided I was going to attempt to paint it again. So anyway, the very first thing I did after I got done painting, after I cleaned my gun, was I ripped the paper off, and you can see it's just slightly darker. Now, when the paint was wet 4 hours ago, it was darker than that. So I'm hoping, and the paint is still, like, I will be closing those doors right after this video because the paint's still sticky enough that bugs will stick to it. So, or dust. So it's calm out, so I'm going to close the doors here in a couple minutes. But I'm hoping that that paint will darken another shade or so. The color appears to be right, but it is a slightly darker or slightly lighter than this. But anyway, I still had to go by feel. I couldn't get my head in a position where I could see as I was going. I had to just kind of more or less wing it. I was able to see a little bit, but not. I couldn't get my eyesight with my glasses and the light just right, so I could see what I was doing 100%. So 80% of it was still done just by feel, but it did turn out much better than my last paint job. And well, anyway, I had a few bugs that I had each coat I had to pick off with needle nose pliers very, very carefully, and there they are. But they kind of saved things. But actually, I was lucky with the bugs because there was little funny little beetles, flying beetles that came in, just tiny little things that I had to pick off at least 4, one on each coat. But I got away with it, no problem. But you can see a little bit. It's the right color, just a little bit light, but it was much more noticeable than that a couple 3 hours ago or 4 hours ago. So, and the paint's still good and tacky, like um, yeah, real sticky. So maybe when that dries overnight, that'll uh, make it just a shade darker. I don't think paint, but anyway, I got a couple runs. Um, right there, you can see them, and right there. Not uh, considering the visibility that I had when I was painting, it actually turned out darn good because I should have had that whole quarter panel should have been disaster, but it didn't. It came out uh, more or less well presentable. But yeah, I guess part of the reason why I wanted to paint it was because I don't plan on painting the whole car anytime soon. I got a lot of this car has to go on the road. I got to do some drivetrain brake. I got the brakes off and the um, lines off. I had to heat that up. I drained the brake fluid, and then I heated that up. The nut that on this line that's good, that was stuck. So I heated it up and then put the wrench on it and got it so it turns so I can still use it. And I'll put a new. I'm making a new line here, and I got new flex lines, and I have all new stuff here. Now I had a bugger of a time getting this hub off over here because this hub was no good, but I managed to pull this brake shoe out of the way enough that the hub came off. And the same over here. That nut was seized, so I drained the brake fluid and then I heated the nut so it would loosen on this brake line, because that brake line goes right up to the front up by the motor, and it's in good shape. It's just the nut was stuck, but a little bit of heat on that nut and it broke loose, so I can put my flex line on. But anyway, I'll be taking all that out, clean it up, give it a coat of paint, and put all new brakes and springs and shocks and bushings in it. And then I had to put struts and check the wheel bearings, and I got new rotors and my steering rack. And then basically I got to put that other hood on and paint it first and put the hood on and put my interior back in, and hopefully I'm on the road. But anyway, for my own peace of mind, I did get it painted. I was totally done by 8 o'clock this morning. It was 8:30, but I see I even got a dry spot right here, but I got enough paint on it, I'll be able to buff it. Amazing how many people drive by and beep and wave, but don't pull in. But anyway, the paint appears to be darkening up, because this morning after I cleaned the gun, I took that paper off. It didn't match at all. And now it almost matches. So maybe by tomorrow, that'll darken up just another shade. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.